nice to see you again.
Hey TC, it's so nice to see you.
I'm not your average girl. Hey, not your average girl. Hey, I'm not your average girl.
So what does your job as a development producer for BBC Comedy Commissioning entail?
We're quite a small team. It's 4 commissioners, our head of comedy and me. And we do about 120 hours of comedy each year across BBC platforms. We get ideas in from the production community, from agents, from talent as well. And it's our role to filter them. Day to day, that means supporting the commissioners, read a lot of scripts, make script notes. Usually I'll be going to shows, also just looking for new ways we can engage talent. So looking on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, platforms like that to find potential people we might want to work with going forwards.
Why did you decide to become involved in TV development?
I never really thought about development as a career, to be honest. I just loved comedy. And then there was just a moment when I realised that you could love comedy and make money from loving comedy.
When did you make a start in your career?
My first job was in advertising. I did a grad scheme. I sort of knew it wasn't my dream job, but I got a lot out of it. From there, I got a marketing role at the BBC. And as you know, like once you're at the BBC, you know, if you're tenacious enough, you can move around, and gradually with stealth, I've basically moved over to where I want to be.
What top 3 skills do you need to become a development producer for commissioning in comedy?
The first is like a genuine love of comedy. I think you need to be passionate about it or you'll get caught out. I really strongly believe that like diversity of experience, thought, taste, instincts are so important for having a great team. And then finally, you know, it's quite a slow game sometimes, like from that initial meeting with someone's idea that you really love to getting that made and on screen, it can take, you know, a couple of years. So I think it's being tenacious enough to sort of stick with that.
Who helped you?
Just thinking about specific moments, getting on the BBC content panel was massive for me because it gave me a mentor. And I think at that moment, it was exactly what I needed. Someone who could just guide me a bit. I knew what I wanted to do, but I just didn't quite have the self-belief to do it myself. And my mentor asked me, you know, where do you want to be? Where do you want to end up? I said, I just really want to work in comedy. And she said, okay, cool. But have you spoken to the comedy team? I said, no. And she said, why not? Go and speak to them. And that's honestly how I got this role, essentially, was building that relationship.
What's been one of your best career highlights or achievements so far?
There's a pilot for BBC Three called Pro, and it's an idea that originally came into us, and I just loved and believed in it from the start. And it's got the most brilliant production team behind it, who are super spirited, generous, really inclusive with how they work, and kind of challenge a lot of the traditional ways of working. And so to be a small part of that and see that from its inception right through to making it to screen is super exciting.
What's been one of your biggest learning curves during your career, and what did you learn from this?
I spent a lot of my early career trying to second guess what I thought other people would want me to say. And I guess in the last couple of years particularly, I've like really learned to trust my own instincts and make my own voice heard, and that feels really important, and I'd say is a lesson that I'd be keen to pass on.
What's your ultimate career goal?
I make a lot of shorts on the side, so there's a team of us who just love working together, and I guess the progression from there would be to maybe make a comedy series as a next step.
What advice do you have for young women who aspire to get into TV?
Put your hand up and have your voice heard and make a valuable contribution. I think recognising that no contribution is too small. So, you know, if you're asked to read a script, for example, and there's only one small thing you've got to say, like say it. It's important, and it might be really, really valuable. You've been brought in because you're the person they want to work with. So be yourself, and it can feel difficult sometimes, particularly when you're more junior. But I think that's something I really believe in and haven't always done and wish I'd done earlier.
Thank you so much for joining me in today's Career Corner, Emily. It's great to see you again. Take care.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I'm not your average girl. Hey, not your average girl. Hey, I'm not your average